Live. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ryan here, back with another interview. I'm here with Raymond from
Yep.
a few episodes ago. It's a pleasure to have you back, man. And our special guest today is the English Times, man. English Times, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah. I'm the English Times. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me on your show,
Of course.
Ryan and Raymond. Good to be here.
Hey, it's
Um,
not my show. It's all Ryan.
That's
I'm just
cool.
here as the guest
I'll,
or a sideline watcher.
I guess just in case your audience doesn't know, I'll go ahead and briefly explain what English is. It's a kind of English that has less borrowed words from foreign languages. So
oh,
English is. Some people say it's kind of a hybrid language from Latin, German, and Greek, as it has so many borrowed words from all these other languages.
mm-hmm.
But the core of the language is Germanic. So originally it came from mainland Germany um, before the Anglo Saxons took over the English island and they brought the language with them. So English kind of seeks to go back to the roots of English and use less borrowed words.
Okay.
Hmm.
So English is like German.
Well, it's English. They're English words,
Yeah.
but with the only with the Germanic vocabulary of the English language,
So it's like,
which is
it's like English but spoken with a German accent.
no, not an accent. It's the vocabulary. So okay, so a common example is the word dictionary, which is
Yeah.
that's a borrowed word, and if you were to say that in English, it would be a book. It would be a word book.
Okay.
So yeah, word and book are both those originate from Old English. The and dictionary originates from Latin. So
Okay.
that's an example of a borrowed word that we have.
Mm-hmm. Wow, very interesting. So thanks for giving us the background, and I guess we'll start the questioning with how did we with us telling everybody how that me and you met English Times. Um, do you remember how we met? I think it was Discord.
I have no idea how we met. Did I? I think I found your Discord server. Maybe I found it on Discord. I don't remember. I think I just joined
Might
your
have
Discord
might have been
server.
Reddit like YouTubers because I met some people off there. I don't remember.
It might have been that. It might have been NewTubers. Yeah, r/NewTubers.
Yeah, something like
Or there
that.
was yeah. There's also a YouTube Discord server for YouTubers. We might have met there. I don't remember.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Like all the backstory of how people come on and how we meet a lot of people. You know. Um, so English Times. You are also a YouTuber, correct?
I do upload all of my articles to YouTube. So I record the content of the news articles and I put it on YouTube as an archive. Just to have another place to keep them other than the written form. Um,
So you have a website?
yeah. So the website is called theenglishtimes.com.
Oh,
That's where all the news articles are. And then I record the news articles in audio and I upload those to YouTube. More recently, I've also been doing word of the day shorts on YouTube. I kind of hate YouTube shorts, but I just wanted to try it out and give it a fair chance. And I still kind of hate it, but I think it's good for word of the day because it's kind of a short thing to cover.
hmm. So are you do you like do reporting or like what part of the news are you interested in? Like being a reporter, an interviewer? Um,
Uh, Basically, I just cover the major world events, anything that the you'll find other media outlets covering.
mhm.
The ongoings with Russia,
Yeah.
Elon Musk buying out Twitter, and the drama there, that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, whatever you would see the mainstream news report on, I try to report on that. I usually do about 2 articles per week, so I try to avoid covering smaller topics
Hmm.
and just cover the major topics.
Hmm. Very interesting. Hmm. It's like Raymond had some problem, but
My
so
camera
you
disconnected.
have a so you I didn't realize that you had a website. It's very nice. Yeah, I've never been on your website, but I have watched lots of videos of you've posted over the bunch that we've done each other. Is there any like topics, like any areas of interest that you like to cover mostly, like any world events going on in the world that you um, are like very interested in?
No, I kind of like variety and I like new things to come up. It's actually, for me, it's a little bit tiring to cover the same things over and over again. So you have up until the Russian invasion of Ukraine,
Yeah.
for about 2 years, all of the mainstream news was around COVID, and it was kind of frustrating to have to write another article about COVID every week. So I tried to avoid, repeating myself, and if nothing new actually happened, then I try not to write about it. Um, and yeah, so with things like COVID or the Russia situation, um, mainstream news just keeps going over the same situation over and over again. And even if nothing really happens, they try to make it seem like something's happening. Um, but things only happen every few months before something significant happens. So I try to wait to cover things until it's something significant.
Yeah, I do have to agree. The news does get boring after it repeats itself for like 3 days. Like I was COVID, that 2 years was way too long to be talking about the same stuff.
Facts.
Yeah, it was very tiring. I think in the end I only did maybe 3 or 4 articles on COVID over the entire year, so I had to fill all of the other articles, approximately two per week, with other other news besides what everybody was talking about. And same with the Russia situation. I think I've done more articles about Russia and Ukraine than I did do about COVID. I'm getting up there, maybe 7 or 8, probably approaching 10 on Russia and Ukraine. But I still try to limit it to only when real things happen or when something major happens in the conflict.
Hmm. Very nice. So, do you see yourself turning the English Times into like a corporation, like Fox News or CNN, like a big corporation?
Well, of course, that's the end goal, is compete with Fox News and CNN. I would like to replace them entirely. But in order for that to happen, we need to spread the awareness of the English undertaking and have more people be aware of English and speak English and want to consume their news in English. So it's kind of a two front war here. We have to spread the gospel of English at the same time. We have to replace CNN and Fox News.
Yeah. Sorry,
Um, are,
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
are all your articles in English?
That is correct. Yes, they are all in English.
English or English? I didn't hear you
English.
there. Okay, but it's very similar to English, so it's like not crazy hard to learn.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm laughing.
Uh,
I just
yeah.
started.
My style of writing English is, I try to keep it as readable and understandable as possible for people that aren't familiar with the topic. Um, if you go to the subreddit, the English subreddit r/English, there are people there that try to use more obscure vocabulary. Um, and I like it. It's interesting to me, but I think newcomers are a little bit turned off by it because they can't understand it coming in without studying first. So I try to keep my articles um, open to people who don't know English, and maybe there's only 2 or 3 words that they don't know, but they can figure it out from the context of the article.
Hmm. Yeah, sorry, I had a little meltdown. I think, yeah, I might have to look more into English because, to be honest, seeing it in your name, like I didn't even know it was a language. I thought it was just like I thought you were like Los Angeles, like English meant like Los Angeles or something. I didn't know it was a whole language. So yeah, definitely something I need to dive deeper into, man. And
Yeah,
listen,
I would check it out. It's pretty entertaining.
and listen, I am here if you need help, if you need like investors or anything to help grow the English Times, you could count on me, man. I want you to know.
Okay, well, yeah, we always need investors with deep pockets.
Yeah. Um, hmm.
Is English a combination of Anglo and English? Is that what it is? Is that how it's?
Um, well, the word English comes from the Angles. So that the original pronunciation of English was English, and it kind of shifted over time with French influence into English instead of English. So um, yeah, so you're right in recognizing that Anglo and English are related, but Anglo and English are also related. It's just that the spelling has changed over time and to be an E instead of an A. So this is kind of going back to the roots again. Um, yeah.
Is your news like American based, Canadian, European?
Well, you can probably tell from my accent. I'm American based. I'm from Texas. Um, but the news articles themselves cover the entire world. So if there's something interesting going on in India or the Middle East or China or whatever, I'll cover those as well. I don't only do American news. I probably do have a little bit of bias towards things going on in the U.S. Um, but I don't think I'm the only one. Like most news outlets cover the U.S. more than they do, you know, South America. I guess like the BBC would write about the United States more than they would about a smaller country.
Yeah, absolutely. Every news station has a little bit of bias. So,
For sure, yeah.
So,
Hey
what?
Raymond, I wanted to ask Raymond.
Yeah.
You sound like you're American. Why do you have a Union Jack on your wall?
it's because like I got several flags on my wall. We got Ukraine because my mom got me that. We got New
Okay.
England because I like to represent New England. I think it's the best part of the country. I got the American flag, but the I got the Union Jack in particular just because I got English roots. So
Yeah.
What is that flag next to the Union Jack?
that's the German Empire flag. It's probably my favorite empire. It's not the Nazi one. It's the one
Oh,
before that.
Bismarck, right?
Yeah, it's that one.
Otto von
So
Bismarck.
I got that when I was
Right.
probably like 15, and I've just kept it hanging up ever since. And I also do like the design. I like how it's the black and the red instead of the yellow. So
Yeah, that's cool. I like the Union Jack as well. I think it has a really cool design. I have
absolutely,
English roots also, um, but I don't have a Union Jack flag. I would like to have one. It's very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. I'm Loki a flag guy.
Oh, well, I have a flag for English. It's red with a white wyvern on it. I can drop it in chat if you want to see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would be
And
happy to.
also, the viewers too. Um,
Yeah, let me see here. Do you want me to drop it in general, or do you have another place for this?
you could drop it in memes. I'm gonna
Okay.
make a new channel for pictures and links.
There's the
I,
there's the videos, but
I'm just scared of putting it in the wrong place. You
Oh
might
no
think it's
no you don't
promotion,
have
so
you don't have to
I
stress
I
about it,
can
man.
I can put it in promo if general chat is offensive or
Oh no,
too
sorry.
promoty.
You can put it in like Ryan or Pat.
Okay.
or Pat channel
Yeah.
doesn't get any love.
Yeah, I don't want to be a tyrant about like sending the stuff in, like pictures and stuff. All right, let me
All
show
right,
you.
I dropped it in memes.
Oh,
Oh,
the English flag, a dragon, huh?
I like the little dragon. Yeah, reminds me of the Welsh dragon.
Hmm.
I think it's the tail.
Yeah, it's similar. So the Welsh flag has an actual dragon, which it has four legs. This is a wyvern, so it only has two legs and then wings.
Hmm.
So what got you started into all this English stuff?
Honestly, I think it was the YouTuber Lang Focus. He did a video about it, and watched his video about it, and I thought it was very cool. And then I just got obsessed with it, and then started a newspaper.
Wow. Yeah. So, like I was about to ask you before. Yeah. What got you so interested in news and journalism?
Well, I mean, I'm probably not that much more interested in news than the average person. I like keeping up with the news, but mostly I wanted a way to practice English and get better at it, as well as create content that other people could read. And I needed something that I could create on a regular basis and have something different. I don't really like to write fiction that much, and I didn't want to keep up with something fiction. And I didn't want to do something nonfiction that was extremely specific that most people wouldn't be interested in. So I figured the news was something general enough and relatable enough to most people that it'd be a good way for them to also practice reading English.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, the news affects us all.
Very interesting. And so, what are your future plans with the English Times, Mr. English?
Well, I guess one of the things I wanted to do was have a physical newspaper, a print newspaper. I tried to do that earlier on, and it seemed like most of the readers weren't really interested in a print version of it. Um, the print version, I don't think I quite did it the way I wanted to anyway, so I kind of stopped releasing a print version. But eventually, I'd like to get back to that point where I can have a print version, and I would like to have more articles, more content that would actually fill up the amount of space that a print version would require. So print newspapers have quite a few more articles than 2 articles per week. That wouldn't really fill a newspaper. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, I would like to increase my news coverage, but I'm limited in myself. So the more people that get on board and help out, the more things I can cover.
Yeah. Newspapers also been dying for quite a while. Less and less people are reading it. It's much easier to just go online.
Yeah, absolutely. For actually keeping up with the news, you don't really need a newspaper, but I think it's a nice thing to have as an archive of current events. Looking on the back on the past from the future, it's nice
Yeah.
that we have newspapers from the 1950s, the 1960s. We've got newspapers sort of providing us history of everything that's happened, even small insignificant things in small towns that don't affect most of the world. You can go find newspapers from small towns and see all the daily or weekly events that they went throughout history. And I think that's really cool to have a physical archive um, that can't be changed like digital archives can.
Absolutely, man. Would you say you're a big history or historian?
No, I'm interested in history, but I'm probably less knowledgeable about history than uh, history majors, I guess.
Yeah. Raymond, do you have any questions for the English Times?
Um, I don't think so. I think I asked everything that I was wondering.
Hmm. So I guess our final question to you with the English Times is what's uh what's a good piece of advice that you would give to the viewers watching?
Avoid avoid speaking French words. I think that would be the best advice to give the viewers. Um, yeah, just if you do have to speak French words,
Yeah.
apologize in advance before you speak them. I think that would be the best advice.
Mm.
What are some common French words that might be everyday use that I should try to avoid?
French fries.
Uh, Entree, you could just call it a meal.
Mhm.
Okay.
That does sound French.
Entree.
Don't say that. Sounds very.
Escargot, you could call that a snail.
Hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say for the viewers? the English Times?
Yeah. I just released a book on Amazon. That's a collection of all of my news articles from 2021. Here in a few weeks, I'm going to release all the news articles as a book as well from 2022. I'm still putting those together. But if anybody does want a hard copy and they don't want to keep up with boxes of newspapers, they can get it in book form as an archive of everything that happened in 2021.
Okay, guys, definitely go check out the English Times, man. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Do we have your permission to post this on YouTube?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me on the show. I love your bowling pin and I love Raymond's Union Jack flag. Those are very cool.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.